On Tuesday, we're really looking for opportunity from chaos. I was saying before we started that yesterday, at least out my window, was rainy, and we it fit the mood of kind of saying, this is where we're at. There's some real challenges ahead of us. Today, out my window at least, is sunny, and I hope the sun's coming your way too. And really thinking about solutions and thinking about particularly supporting our workforce that we talked about is doing a huge job right now, and many of you are here and you are the workforce, so I really appreciate the opportunity to have the presenters we have today, and the opportunity for discussion. Again, thank you all for being here. This is my word cloud of how you all identified when we asked you all to identify as a policymaker, practitioner, or researcher. I love the answers. I think I'm going to do this forever now in terms of finding out who you all are, how you identify, and I echo what we said on Tuesday by we benefit and we do better by talking across our silos and our groups, and it feels more and more necessary these days to set up these opportunities for conversation, because we're not running into each other as we would potentially in other areas, and some of us may never. And so I'm very excited about all the folks that are on today and joining us. Yesterday, like I said, we talked about the family perspective, and as well as provider perspective of accessing childcare, of the realities of living through this COVID-19 pandemic. We had some great conversation, and I look forward to continuing that on today. We're focusing on using professional development to meet the diverse needs, strengths, and priorities of our children and providers. And I would say we can extend this out even further and say our support people, the people that support the providers, all the way up to our state administrators and everyone that's focused on this work. To kind of prime you and to give a little sense of some thoughts that I saw from the notes from day one, I found it really interesting to read and hear what happened in the discussion groups. Some thoughts that came up that I wanted to echo today are, there was a lot of information presented on Tuesday. I would say enough to fill a whole week of time to discuss. And there's a question of what will we do with this research? Yesterday was a good start of giving these pictures of the challenges, but how do we follow through? How do we turn this into something actionable? How does this feel like something we can use to move forward? Another piece that came up a lot is how can we support the field? Talking about how much people are taking on. Providers were talked about quite a bit around the perspective of them taking on a lot of stressors for families and serving a very important role. And I would say all of you here are playing an important role, and we're all taking on stressors at different levels. And so how do we support the field? And we'll talk about that today. There was discussion around leaving people out of research impacts the policies that come out. And that was brought up and is definitely a piece of where we need to go. And I look forward to hearing more about how you all are thinking about that today in the breakouts. And then finally, none of us have been through a pandemic before. That was a comment from one of the groups, and I thought that was a great reminder of giving each other grace as we navigate this and this challenge and challenging time. As I mentioned on Tuesday, and I want to remind you all again, we will have a brief paper that can also be turned into other ways of getting the word out. We're calling a roundtable summary. This will highlight the presentations, talk about key themes from the breakout, and provide some recommendations for policy and research. If you're interested in being a part of this process or want to provide some feedback, be a part of the translation, please reach out. You can email me or the partnership email, and let us know. We're always looking for more folks. And we do hope that this will really push the conversation and have us leave with something tangible. That what do we do? What can we do next? How can we, how can this roundtable and how can our 2 mornings together have a ripple effect into this coming year, which we know is going to be very busy.